Welcome to today's video on eliminating hidden investing fees that quietly erode small portfolios. First, we will expose how routine maintenance and per-fund fees can consume a shocking percentage of your returns. Next, we will share two quick, proven strategies to stop this leak immediately. Then, we'll walk through step-by-step actions, compare fund setups, and quantify the impact with simple math. Finally, we'll wrap with key takeaways and a clear call to action so you can implement changes today. Here is the agenda so you can follow along. First, we'll identify why small accounts are disproportionately impacted by maintenance and per-fund fees. Next, we'll introduce two fast fixes: switching to e-delivery and consolidating into a single diversified fund. Then, we'll explore converting to ETFs and moving to a zero-commission brokerage. After that, we'll analyze real numbers to quantify the savings. We'll also provide an actionable checklist. Finally, we'll test your knowledge with quick quizzes to make sure you're ready to act. Let's set the stage. For smaller portfolios, especially under $50,000, maintenance and per-fund fees can easily top 1% annually. While diversifying across U.S. stocks, international stocks, and bonds is solid advice, the execution matters. When each mutual fund triggers a separate maintenance fee, say $25 per fund, plus an annual account fee, the cost of holding multiple funds becomes punitive. For example, paying $120 on an $11,000 portfolio is roughly 1.09%, which materially reduces compounding. Therefore, we need practical ways to keep diversification benefits without incurring redundant fees. To visualize the impact, consider a pie chart of an $11,000 account where $120 per year goes solely to maintenance fees. While that may appear small, it acts as a persistent drag on compounding. First, over long horizons, even 1% annual leakage can reduce your end balance dramatically. Next, the structure of per-fund fees can create a behavioral trap. Because each additional fund can add another maintenance charge, you may split your assets too thinly early on. Finally, the opportunity cost is straightforward. Dollars diverted to fees are not invested and therefore cannot compound. This is why we should attack these costs immediately. Let's take the first immediate action. Elect e-delivery. First, log into your brokerage account and go to the Settings or Preferences menu. Next, open Communications or Delivery options. Then, switch every available document type, including statements, trade confirmations, and prospectuses, to electronic delivery. After that, save and confirm your changes. Next, monitor your next statement to confirm that maintenance and per-fund fees have been waived. Finally, if you do not see an e-delivery setting, contact customer support and request a waiver. Many brokerages eliminate these fees when you opt for electronic documents. Now let's simplify the portfolio to reduce redundant fees. First, consider consolidating into a single, broadly diversified fund, such as a target date fund or a total world stock fund. Next, recognize that holding one fund usually triggers only one maintenance fee, and with e-delivery it often becomes zero. Then, note that rebalancing is handled inside the fund, which reduces the need to manage multiple positions manually. Finally, this approach focuses your attention where it matters, earning more, saving consistently, and sticking to the plan, rather than micromanaging small allocations that incur extra costs. Let's compare the two approaches. On the left, a single fund, either a target date fund or a total world stock fund, delivers broad diversification within one hold. That structure generally means fewer maintenance triggers, simplified paperwork, and in the case of target date funds, built-in rebalancing. On the right, a four-fund split can duplicate diversification benefits but multiplies maintenance charges, requires manual rebalancing, and increases administrative complexity. Therefore, for smaller accounts, the single-fund approach often preserves diversification while minimizing unnecessary fees. Let's quantify the difference with illustrative numbers. Assume a $25 per fund maintenance fee and a $20 annual account fee. With 4 mutual funds, total maintenance comes to $120 per year. On a $5,000 account, that is 2.4%. On $11,000, it's roughly 1.09%. On $25,000, it's 0.48%. And on $50,000, 0.24%. At $100,000, it drops to 0.12%, which is relatively modest. With e-delivery, Many brokerages reduce these maintenance charges to zero entirely. If you consolidate to a single mutual fund without e-delivery, you might still pay $45.25 for the fund, plus $20 for the account. With ETFs at a zero commission brokerage, ongoing trading commissions are typically zero, which eliminates these specific maintenance charges. This timeline shows a same-day plan to reduce fees in about 10 minutes. First, you log in and locate the settings area. Next, you switch all document delivery options to e-delivery and save. After that, you review your current holdings to identify redundant funds. Then, you place a consolidation trade into a single diversified fund, such as a target date fund or a total world stock fund. Finally, you set a reminder to verify that your next statement shows zero maintenance fees and to review expense ratios monthly. This sequence prioritizes the fastest, highest impact steps. If your platform charges unavoidable maintenance fees, an alternative route is to convert mutual funds to ETFs and move to a zero commission brokerage. First, check whether your mutual funds have ETF equivalents with similar exposure. Next, open an account at a zero commission broker and initiate an ACAT transfer to pull assets over. Then, maintain diversified exposure using broad, low-cost ETFs. Finally, be mindful of bid-ask spreads and consider using limit orders for better execution. This path can permanently eliminate maintenance and trading commissions in many cases. To ensure follow-through, here is a concise action checklist. First, audit your last 2 to 3 statements and highlight maintenance and per-fund fees. Next, switch every document type to e-delivery. Then, consolidate into a single diversified fund, such as a target date fund or a total world stock fund. After that, review expense ratios and focus on low-cost index options. If fees persist at your current brokerage, consider converting to ETFs and moving to a zero-commission platform. Finally, set a calendar reminder to confirm on your next statement that fees have dropped to zero. Quiz time. What is the fastest single action to potentially eliminate maintenance and per-fund fees on small accounts? Option A. Switch all documents to e-delivery. Option B. Add more funds to diversify further. Option C. Hire an active manager. Option D. Trade more frequently to offset fees. Else. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is to switch all documents to e-delivery. Many brokerages waive both account and per-fund maintenance fees when you opt into electronic delivery. This change is fast, low risk, and frequently the highest impact step for small accounts. Here's the second quiz. Why can consolidating into one diversified fund be superior for small balances? Option A. It guarantees higher returns. Option B. It triggers fewer maintenance fees while keeping broad exposure. Option C. It eliminates market risk. Option D. It avoids taxes altogether. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is that consolidating reduces maintenance triggers while maintaining broad diversification. A target date or total world stock fund provides wide exposure within one holding, often eliminating redundant fees. Let's recap the key points. First, small accounts are disproportionately affected by per-fund and account maintenance fees. Next, switching to e-delivery can often reduce these costs to zero immediately. Then, consolidating into one diversified fund helps avoid redundant charges while preserving broad exposure. After that, consider ETFs at a zero-commission brokerage for long-term fee freedom. Finally, keep your setup simple early on and only add complexity once your portfolio is large enough that these fees are negligible. Before we conclude, a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, tax, or legal advice. Investing carries risk, including the potential loss of principal. Brokerage fee policies vary and can change without notice, so always verify your platform's current fee schedule and prospectus details. Consult a qualified professional regarding your personal circumstances. To wrap up, your next steps are straightforward. First, switch to e-delivery to eliminate maintenance charges. Next, consolidate into a single diversified fund to minimize fee triggers. Then, consider ETF equivalents and a zero-commission brokerage for a more permanent solution. After that, verify on your next statement that fees have dropped to zero. Finally, revisit allocation complexity later as your assets grow and the fee percentage becomes negligible. In a moment, we'll close with a quick thank you and a call to action. Thanks for watching. If this helped you plug a fee leak, please like the video, share it with a friend who's paying too much, and subscribe for more money-saving strategies. Drop a comment describing how much you saved after switching to e-delivery or consolidating. Your story could guide someone else to take action today.